Stoicism is only for masculine men, right? Think again. There's a common misconception that Stoicism is a philosophy meant exclusively for men, particularly for those who embody a more traditional masculine ideal of strength and endurance. However, this assumption grossly underestimates the true breadth of Stoic philosophy and its universal appeal. Stoicism, with its core teachings on resilience, emotional intelligence, and self-mastery, is a philosophy that transcends gender, offering valuable lessons for women as well. Today, we'll explore 7 reasons why Stoicism is just as vital for women as it is for men, providing essential tools for personal empowerment and fulfillment. Before we dive in, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could like this video to support the continued spread of Stoic teachings. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming lessons. Lesson number 1. Embracing authentic leadership. Embracing authentic leadership as a woman often requires navigating a landscape filled with stereotypes and rigid expectations. For many women, the pressures of conforming to predefined leadership models, ones often shaped by aggression, authority, and dominance, can feel overwhelming. However, Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue, integrity, and self-awareness, serves as a powerful compass, guiding women to lead from a place of authenticity. Stoic teachings, particularly those of Epictetus, who once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do," highlight the importance of self-definition in leadership. This philosophy empowers women leaders to deeply introspect and reflect on their core values, strengths, and aspirations. Stoicism challenges the notion that leadership must fit into a specific mold. Instead, it encourages cultivating a leadership style that is aligned with one's true self, rooted in one's unique virtues, whether that be empathy, collaborative spirit, or innovative thinking. Leading with authenticity. Imagine a woman named Emily, who is leading a diverse project team. She feels the pressure to exhibit a certain type of leadership, one that asserts dominance and control to maintain authority. In moments of uncertainty, Stoicism nudges her towards a different path, one that is truer to her nature. Instead of mimicking traditional, often masculine archetypes of leadership, Stoicism helps Emily embrace her innate qualities, leading through empathy, active listening, and shared vision. Emily's authentic leadership style values each team member's input, fostering a culture of mutual respect and collaboration. She approaches challenges with a calm, strategic mindset, using rational thought rather than emotional reactions to navigate difficult decisions. Stoicism helps her remain grounded, focused on the greater good of the project and the well-being of her team, rather than simply asserting power. In doing so, Emily garners genuine respect and loyalty from her team, not because she demands it, but because her leadership resonates with their collective values and goals. This is where Stoicism shines, reminding women leaders that true leadership does not come from imposing authority, but from inspiring others through example, integrity, and consistent action. By leading authentically, Emily is not only more effective, but also more fulfilled, as she aligns her leadership with her personal values. Handling criticism with grace. Another area where Stoicism becomes invaluable is in handling challenges and criticism. Women in leadership roles often face heightened scrutiny and are more likely to be judged harshly. Stoicism, with its focus on rationality and equanimity, offers a framework for navigating this. Instead of dismissing criticism outright or allowing it to undermine her confidence, Emily is able to evaluate feedback rationally. The Stoic approach teaches her to separate constructive criticism from baseless judgments, absorbing valuable lessons and ignoring irrelevant or unfair critiques. Marcus Aurelius's teaching, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it," becomes her guiding principle in discerning the quality of feedback and responding with grace. This balanced response ensures that she remains both open to growth and steadfast in her leadership vision. Moreover, Stoicism encourages resilience against external opinions. Emily learns that while she cannot control the judgments of others, she has complete control over her response to them. This mindset shields her from unnecessary emotional turmoil, allowing her to remain focused on her goals without being distracted by negativity. Leadership as service and stewardship. One of the most profound lessons Stoicism teaches is the concept of leadership as a role of service, rather than one of power or control. In the Stoic tradition, leadership is seen as a form of stewardship, a responsibility to uplift others, foster team cohesion, and guide collective success. This redefinition of leadership aligns with the natural strengths of many women, who often lead with a communal, nurturing instinct. Emily begins to see her role not as one where she must assert dominance, but as one where she can help her team grow, succeed, and achieve shared goals. She practices what the Stoics call sympathia, a deep understanding of and connection with the people around her. This kind of leadership creates an environment where trust and respect flourish, where every member feels valued, and where collective achievement is prioritized over individual glory. By embracing Stoic principles, Emily cultivates a leadership style that is not only effective but also deeply rewarding. Her team thrives under her guidance because they feel heard, understood, and respected. Leadership for her becomes an opportunity to live her virtues, to be compassionate, wise, and courageous in the face of adversity. Leadership as an expression of virtue. Through the lens of Stoicism, leadership transcends the notion of mere role fulfillment. It becomes an expression of one's deepest values and beliefs. For Emily, her leadership is not just about getting tasks done or achieving success in the traditional sense. It is about embodying the virtues she holds dear: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Stoicism teaches that these virtues are the foundation of true leadership. By leading with integrity, staying true to her principles, and maintaining a clear sense of purpose, Emily's leadership becomes more than a professional obligation. It becomes a deeply personal and transformative journey. Stoicism allows her to lead from within, creating a lasting impact that extends beyond her immediate team to the broader organization and community. Conclusion: authentic leadership for women. For women leaders, Stoicism is not just a philosophy, but a practical guide to navigating the complexities of leadership with grace, strength, and authenticity. It encourages women to look inward, to define their leadership based on their own values rather than external expectations, and to lead from a place of wisdom and virtue. Authentic leadership, as defined by Stoicism, is about fostering positive change, guiding others with humility and compassion, and remaining resilient in the face of challenges. It is about leading with purpose, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to being true to oneself. Lesson number 2. Navigating societal expectations. Navigating societal expectations can often feel like walking a tightrope, especially for women who are frequently faced with a multitude of predefined roles and standards. Whether it's societal pressures to conform to traditional paths or expectations around appearance, behavior, and success, Stoicism offers a way to navigate these challenges with grace and clarity. Let's take Sarah, a young woman who has recently ventured into entrepreneurship. She faces daily questions from her family and friends. When will you settle down? Or, why not get a regular job like everyone else? These questions reflect the broader societal expectation for women to follow a conventional path, be it in career or personal life. In such a landscape, Stoicism becomes Sarah's anchor. She draws strength from the words of Epictetus: "We have the power over our mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This core Stoic teaching helps her to distinguish between what is within her control, her thoughts, decisions, and actions, and what lies outside of it, like other people's opinions or societal expectations. With this understanding, Sarah reframes how she perceives the external pressures. Rather than seeing them as barriers to her progress, she recognizes them as mere background noise. Her focus sharpens, allowing her to channel her energy into her entrepreneurial journey instead of wasting it on worrying about fitting into a traditional mold. It's important to note Sarah's path is not one of rebellion for rebellion's sake. She isn't fighting against societal norms just to be contrarian. Rather, she is staying true to her own values and vision. Stoicism teaches her how to cultivate inner equanimity, even in the face of misunderstanding or criticism from those around her. But Stoicism doesn't just help Sarah silence the noise. It also helps her develop patience and compassion for those who may not understand her choices. Stoicism teaches us that societal expectations often stem from cultural norms or fear of the unknown, rather than from a place of personal judgment. By applying Stoic principles, Sarah is able to navigate these interactions without resentment or frustration, while staying firm in her chosen direction. In the end, Stoicism gives Sarah the tools to validate herself. Her self-worth is not dictated by external standards, but by her own sense of purpose and alignment with her values. The inner strength and peace she finds by practicing Stoic principles aren't just powerful, they're liberating. Lesson number 3. Balancing emotional labor. Balancing emotional labor is a task often disproportionately shouldered by women. Whether in personal relationships or professional settings, the burden of managing not just physical tasks, but emotional dynamics can become overwhelming. Stoicism, with its emphasis on emotional mastery and resilience, offers a guiding light in navigating this complex and often overlooked aspect of life. Let's consider a common scenario. A woman, we'll call her Emily, finds herself juggling multiple responsibilities. She's managing her family's emotional well-being, acting as the empathetic listener and problem solver, while simultaneously handling the pressures of a demanding job. In both roles, she's expected to stay composed, patient, and supportive. This constant emotional navigation, ensuring everyone around her feels heard and cared for, can lead to emotional exhaustion. So how does Stoicism help? At its core, Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. In Emily's case, she cannot control the emotions or actions of those around her, but she can control her own reactions and how she chooses to engage emotionally. By practicing this fundamental Stoic concept, Emily can reclaim a sense of control over her own emotional energy. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This advice applies not just to anger, but to any overwhelming emotion. By practicing delay, Emily learns to pause before reacting to stressful situations, whether it's a tense moment with a family member or a heated exchange at work. This pause allows her to process her emotions and choose a measured response rather than reacting impulsively. Over time, this practice leads to a transformative shift in how she manages emotional labor. Emily becomes more discerning, learning to recognize where her emotional involvement is genuinely needed and where it might be more beneficial to step back. This doesn't mean becoming emotionally detached or unfeeling. Rather, it's about being intentional with her emotional energy. She learns that she doesn't have to take on everyone else's emotions as her own or feel compelled to fix every problem. Setting boundaries and self-care. Another crucial aspect of managing emotional labor is the ability to set boundaries. Stoicism teaches that part of maintaining emotional balance is recognizing the need for self-care. For Emily, this means learning to protect her own emotional well-being by setting clear boundaries. Whether it's saying no to additional responsibilities at work or carving out time for herself at home, setting boundaries becomes essential to preserving her mental and emotional health. Stoicism encourages the practice of ataraxia, a state of serene calmness. This state can only be achieved when one learns to balance external demands with internal peace. For Emily, engaging in activities that rejuvenate her spirit becomes a vital part of her routine. Whether it's through solitary hobbies, physical exercise, or simply moments of quiet reflection, these small acts of self-care become a necessity, not a luxury. In prioritizing her well-being, Emily is better equipped to navigate the emotional needs of others without depleting her own reserves. Navigating emotional labor in the workplace. In the professional realm, Stoicism helps Emily cultivate a sense of equanimity amid workplace stress. Office politics, demanding colleagues, or difficult clients no longer rattle her as they once did. Instead of reacting impulsively to every stressful situation, Emily now practices emotional restraint and mindfulness. This approach not only preserves her emotional energy, but also fosters more harmonious interactions with her colleagues. By embodying Stoic calm, Emily becomes a stabilizing presence in her workplace, which in turn earns her greater respect and trust from her peers. Stoicism, in essence, teaches Emily the art of emotional economy, investing her emotional energy wisely and with purpose. She learns to be selective about where and how she engages emotionally, ensuring that her involvement is meaningful rather than obligatory. This approach transforms emotional labor from a source of stress to an intentional and balanced part of her life. A path to fulfillment through Stoicism, Emily discovers a sustainable strategy for handling the emotional demands of her life. She no longer feels overwhelmed by the constant push and pull of her multifaceted roles. Instead, she approaches emotional labor with purpose, grace, and a newfound sense of balance. This shift doesn't just help her cope with emotional demands, it brings her a deeper sense of fulfillment and well-being. Stoicism, once seen as an ancient philosophy rooted in logic and emotional detachment, reveals itself as an invaluable modern tool, especially for women like Emily who navigate the intricate landscape of emotional labor every day. With Stoic teachings, emotional balance becomes achievable, empowering women to live richer, more centered lives while maintaining healthy boundaries and inner peace. Lesson 4. Overcoming gender bias. Overcoming gender bias is an ongoing challenge faced by countless women in various aspects of life, from the workplace to personal relationships. Gender bias can manifest in subtle, insidious ways, or in overt discrimination, often undermining women's achievements and challenging their authority. Yet Stoicism, with its emphasis on inner strength, resilience, and focusing on what is within our control, offers a powerful approach to tackling this issue head-on. In a world where gender bias can distort how women are perceived and treated, Stoicism teaches an important lesson. Validation and strength should come from within, not from external sources, which are often biased. This Stoic principle is beautifully captured in the words of Marcus Aurelius. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. These words remind us that true strength and contentment come from within, not from the judgments of others. For women navigating the challenges of gender bias, this philosophy offers a blueprint for resilience and inner peace, finding strength in competence. Consider a woman named Rachel, who holds a leadership role in a male-dominated industry. She often faces subtle doubts about her capabilities, not based on her skills, but on preconceived gender stereotypes. In meetings, her authority is questioned, her decisions scrutinized more harshly than those of her male counterparts. But Stoicism equips Rachel with the mental tools to handle these biases. Rather than internalizing these judgments or letting them affect her self-worth, she learns to anchor her confidence in her own competence and values. Stoicism emphasizes that while Rachel cannot control others' prejudices, she can control her response to them. This shift in focus, from external validation to internal assurance, fosters a quiet, steadfast confidence. Rachel no longer feels the need to prove herself to others or be rattled by their biases. Instead, she focuses on what she can control, her actions, decisions, and how she perceives herself. This Stoic strength enables her to continue excelling in her role, demonstrating her abilities through her actions rather than through arguments or confrontations. By consistently delivering high-quality work, Rachel sets a standard of excellence that is difficult to ignore, even in the face of bias. Over time, her quiet, consistent competence speaks louder than any criticism rooted in gender bias. Stoicism helps her realize that her worth isn't determined by external judgments, but by her inner resolve and capability. Rational thinking as a tool for change. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of rational thinking and objective judgment. This becomes a critical tool for women in deconstructing and overcoming gender bias. By approaching situations with a calm, rational mindset, women like Rachel can dissect and understand the biases they encounter. Instead of reacting emotionally to unfair treatment, they can step back, analyze the situation, and respond with clarity and wisdom. This rational approach not only protects their own peace of mind, but also creates opportunities for meaningful dialogue and change. For example, in a work environment where gender bias is prevalent, calmly and rationally addressing the root causes of that bias, whether it's outdated assumptions, lack of awareness, or ingrained stereotypes, can pave the way for a more equitable and fair workplace. Stoicism teaches that change often comes not from confrontation, but from understanding, patience, and leading by example. Gender bias as a catalyst for growth. Stoicism also encourages women to view challenges, including gender bias, as opportunities for personal growth and character building. Instead of viewing bias as a barrier or a personal attack, Stoicism suggests reframing it as a test of virtues: resilience, courage, patience, and integrity. This shift in perspective is transformative. For example, when Rachel encounters bias or unfair treatment, she doesn't see it as a reflection of her worth or capability. Instead, she views it as a chance to cultivate and strengthen her Stoic virtues. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to practice resilience by staying calm in the face of adversity, courage by standing firm in her values, and integrity by continuing to act with fairness and wisdom, regardless of how she is treated. This Stoic mindset transforms the way women like Rachel interact with bias. Instead of letting it diminish their self-worth, they use it to build inner strength. Gender bias, in this sense, becomes not an obstacle, but a catalyst for personal empowerment. This change in perspective not only helps women overcome bias, but also fosters a deeper sense of self-reliance and confidence. Fostering a sense of self-reliance through Stoicism, women learn that their power lies not in changing others' biases, something largely outside their control, but in strengthening their own inner fortitude. They hone their ability to respond to bias with wisdom, patience, and composure. This philosophy becomes a source of profound self-reliance, teaching women to trust in their abilities and values, regardless of external opinions. In essence, Stoicism becomes not just a philosophical guide, but a practical toolkit for navigating the complex realities of gender bias in daily life. It provides women with the mental and emotional tools to remain resilient, confident, and true to themselves, even when faced with societal pressures or prejudices. Lesson number 5. Asserting personal boundaries. Asserting personal boundaries, particularly for women, often requires a delicate balance between maintaining one's own space and fulfilling various roles in both personal and professional spheres. In a world where expectations can be overwhelming and relentless, Stoicism offers a vital framework for understanding and upholding boundaries. Its core principle, focusing on what we can control, serves as a solid foundation for women to preserve their emotional and mental well-being while navigating the complexities of modern life. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the recognition that while we cannot control the actions, demands, or expectations of others, we have complete sovereignty over how we respond. This aligns with Epictetus's teaching. We are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. This wisdom becomes a powerful tool for women who are constantly juggling responsibilities and facing demands on their time and energy. It encourages them to recognize that their personal resources, time, energy, and emotional labor are theirs to allocate as they see fit. Setting boundaries in professional life. Consider a professional environment where a woman's boundaries are often tested. She may face an excessive workload, unrealistic deadlines, or even invasive questions about her personal life. These are moments when boundaries can feel under constant siege. Stoicism empowers her to delineate her limits clearly and with conviction. She learns to say no when demands exceed her capacity or infringe upon her personal time, not as an act of rebellion, but as a necessary measure to safeguard her well-being and the quality of her work. The Stoic practice of asserting boundaries goes beyond merely saying no. It involves shifting from a mindset that seeks external validation to one that trusts in and values personal judgment. For many women, this shift is crucial, as they are often socialized to prioritize others' needs over their own. By applying Stoic principles, women learn to embrace their autonomy, making decisions that align with their own values and well-being, even when these choices might disappoint others or go against societal expectations. Stoicism teaches that boundaries are not acts of selfishness, but of self-preservation. By setting and enforcing limits, a woman ensures that she can give her best to her professional tasks without being depleted by the overwhelming demands placed on her. She learns that protecting her time and energy allows her to show up more fully in all aspects of her life, whether at work, with family, or in personal pursuits, shifting from external to internal validation. This Stoic approach to boundary setting is transformative because it moves away from the need for constant external validation. Stoicism encourages women to derive their sense of worth from within, valuing their own judgment and decisions. This mental shift is vital, particularly in environments where women are expected to prove their worth by going above and beyond, often at the expense of their own well-being. A woman grounded in Stoic philosophy learns to define her own standards of success, instead of allowing societal or professional expectations to dictate her actions. By focusing on what is truly within her control, her choices, actions, and responses, she begins to see the power in setting limits that protect her mental and emotional resources. In doing so, she develops a profound sense of inner strength, no longer feeling obligated to meet every demand or expectation imposed upon her. Self-awareness and communication. Another essential element Stoicism emphasizes is self-awareness. This is crucial in identifying one's limits and effectively communicating them. Through Stoic introspection, a woman can understand her priorities and recognize when she is being stretched too thin. This awareness not only helps her set boundaries, but also enhances her ability to communicate them clearly and assertively. By understanding her own limits, she fosters mutual respect and understanding with those around her. Whether in a personal relationship, with colleagues, or in a social setting, her ability to articulate her needs helps others respect her space and time. And when her boundaries are challenged, she draws on Stoic resilience, knowing that temporary discomfort in asserting her limits is necessary for long-term peace and well-being. Resilience in upholding boundaries. Stoicism teaches that asserting personal boundaries requires resilience, especially when met with pushback or guilt. For many women, the act of boundary setting can feel uncomfortable or even selfish, but Stoicism reframes this mindset. It offers the reminder that maintaining one's well-being is not a luxury, but a necessity. Boundaries are essential for preserving emotional and mental health, and they enable women to navigate their lives with dignity and self-respect. Stoic resilience encourages women to endure the short-term discomfort that often accompanies saying no or standing firm in their decisions. It teaches that this discomfort is a small price to pay for the long-term peace and fulfillment that come from living in alignment with one's values. This philosophy fosters the inner strength needed to remain calm and composed when boundaries are tested, knowing that such challenges are an inevitable part of life. Conclusion: boundaries as empowerment. In essence, Stoicism becomes a practical and empowering tool for women who seek to assert their personal boundaries. It's not about erecting impenetrable walls, but about building a sense of self-respect and personal agency. Stoic philosophy helps women navigate the demands of life without losing themselves in the process, ensuring that their needs and values are not overshadowed in the hustle of fulfilling various roles. By embracing Stoic principles, women learn that boundaries are not a form of rejection or selfishness, but a means of preserving their well-being and ensuring they can continue to show up fully and authentically in all areas of life. Stoicism teaches the art of saying no with grace, of protecting one's peace without guilt, and of cultivating a deep sense of autonomy and inner strength. Lesson number 6. Embracing Amor Fati in adversity. Embracing Amor Fati, the love of fate, is a core Stoic practice, particularly vital for women facing unique challenges in life. In today's lesson, we will explore how this ancient Stoic principle can empower women to transform adversity into an enriching and necessary part of life's journey. The essence of Amor Fati is to love and accept everything that happens, not merely tolerate or endure difficulties, but to actively welcome them as integral parts of one's life. It's about seeing every challenge, setback, or difficulty as an opportunity for growth, wisdom, and strength. Women often face a range of personal, professional, and societal challenges, be it ingrained expectations, structural barriers, or personal struggles. Amor Fati invites women to shift their perspective. Instead of viewing these challenges as unfair or burdensome, they can be embraced as essential parts of their life's narrative, each containing valuable lessons. This transformation in thinking turns adversity from something to be passively endured into something to actively embrace. Reframing challenges with Amor Fati. Take the example of a woman facing ingrained societal expectations, whether it be career limitations, stereotypes, or personal obstacles. Through the lens of Amor Fati, these situations are no longer seen as impediments, but as necessary experiences that shape and strengthen her character. Every difficulty becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, more resilient, and more self-aware. This Stoic principle helps to reframe hardships by recognizing that each experience, particularly the difficult ones, contributes to personal growth. Stoicism teaches that adversity is essential for forging resilience, wisdom, and character, qualities that cannot be developed in the comfort of an unchallenged life. Women can find in Amor Fati a profound source of empowerment and self-development, learning to love and accept their journey in its entirety. The interconnectedness of events. Another important aspect of Amor Fati is the Stoic belief in the interconnectedness of events. Every challenge, every trial a woman faces, is part of the greater tapestry of her life. Nothing exists in isolation. By embracing this interconnectedness, women can develop a deeper appreciation of life's complexities and cultivate a more harmonious approach to adversity. Understanding that every hardship is part of the bigger picture brings a sense of peace and acceptance. This perspective helps women to see that their struggles are not isolated burdens, but threads in the fabric of their lives that contribute to their growth, character, and overall sense of self. It's this interconnected view that allows Amor Fati to become not just a philosophy of acceptance, but one of active participation in shaping one's fate. Amor Fati, active engagement, not resignation. It's important to clarify that embracing Amor Fati is not about passivity or resignation. It's not an attitude of simply putting up with challenges. Rather, it's an active engagement with life, meeting each moment with enthusiasm and acceptance. Amor Fati encourages women to greet all aspects of their existence, good and bad, with joy and a sense of purpose. Consider how powerful this shift in perspective can be. A woman navigating workplace bias, family obligations, or personal crises, instead of feeling burdened, learns to see these experiences as opportunities to refine her virtues and deepen her wisdom. By adopting this mindset, adversity is no longer something to be feared, but something to be embraced for the growth it offers. Finding joy in adversity. By adopting the principle of Amor Fati, women can approach life with a renewed sense of purpose and resilience. Instead of resisting or wishing things were different, they can find meaning and joy in every experience, especially the challenging ones. Every setback becomes a stepping stone, every struggle a teacher. This shift enables women to live more fully, grounded in the knowledge that every part of life is valuable, every challenge an opportunity for personal and spiritual development. Ultimately, Amor Fati teaches us to love life in all its forms. It's a reminder that we have the power to transform our experiences, especially the difficult ones, into sources of strength, wisdom, and fulfillment. For women facing adversity, this Stoic philosophy offers a path not just to endure, but to thrive, turning life's inevitable challenges into moments of profound growth. Lesson number 7, practicing Stoic reflection and self-awareness empowerment. Engaging in Stoic reflection and self-awareness is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism, especially significant for women who seek fulfillment in their individual life journeys. This lesson highlights the Stoic practices of self-reflection and introspection, underscoring the necessity of internal exploration to achieve personal contentment and satisfaction. At the heart of this lesson lies the Stoic practice of reflective introspection. This method entails regularly assessing one's thoughts, actions, and motivations. Women navigating diverse roles and societal expectations can utilize this approach to clarify their genuine desires, values, and goals. Such self-examination fosters a deeper understanding of what truly leads to fulfillment and happiness, transcending external pressures and societal norms. The Stoics also stress the importance of self-knowledge. For women, this entails cultivating a sharp awareness of their strengths, weaknesses, and core principles. It involves building a robust sense of self that remains unshaken by outside influences. This self-awareness is vital for making life choices that resonate with one's authentic self, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and genuine life. Another key element of this lesson is the Stoic practice of the reserve clause. This concept revolves around setting goals and working toward them while remaining open to results that may differ from one's expectations. Such an approach aids in managing disappointments and discovering contentment in various life situations. It teaches women to chase their aspirations while also staying adaptable and flexible, finding fulfillment regardless of the outcome. Additionally, the Stoic principle of focusing on the present moment is integral to this lesson. Often, fulfillment is obstructed by ruminating on past regrets or future anxieties. Stoicism emphasizes the significance of living in the present, cherishing the now, and deriving joy from current experiences. This present-centered mindset can foster a more satisfying and contented life. By practicing Stoic reflection and self-awareness, women can navigate their paths with enhanced clarity and purpose. This Stoic approach transcends merely achieving goals or adhering to societal standards. It represents a profound journey of self-discovery and alignment with one's true self. Embracing these Stoic practices empowers women to lead authentic and contented lives, making choices that align with their values and aspirations. It is a journey toward a fulfilling life, guided by self-knowledge, reflection, and a deep understanding of what truly brings happiness and fulfillment. As we reflect on today's insights, it's essential to recognize that this journey through Stoicism goes beyond merely grasping a philosophy. It is about rediscovering the strength within each of us, particularly as women facing a world of constant change and challenge. Now, we invite you to connect and reflect in the comments below. Share which lesson resonated with you the most, or how Stoicism has empowered your daily life. Your stories and insights not only inspire us, but are vital threads in the fabric of our growing community. Remember, the strength of Stoicism lies not just in the lessons we learn, but in the community we cultivate. Together, we are stronger. Together, we are resilient. Together, we are Stoic. Thank you for watching. And until next time, stay strong and stay stoic.